Hello everybody, my name is Starrlett, Penny Kate, Star, whatever you want to call me, and I have... and I... I blame the sun, I blame the sunlight. It's actually kind of sunny today, hence why I'm doing the vlog. It's a great angle to do it at because of the sunlight, and I blame the sunlight for sneezing. Do any of you guys do that in the sunlight? Do you sneeze? I feel like I'm weird doing it, but other people have said they do it as well, so maybe I'm not on my own in that aspect. Anyway, I'm here on my bed, as you can tell, the usual photos of Ickle Starrlett behind me. The camera's on the bed as well, so it might be a little bit wobbly, so bear with that. Just a better angle. I kind of feel like I'm a bit better being closer to the camera, so I can just talk to you guys a little bit better about this kind of stuff. But I am here today with a couple of topics I've been wanting to kind of vlog about. I've kind of been in a little bit of a dry spell with vlogging lately, and it's not because I don't have stuff to talk about. I do. I have so much stuff I want to talk about. But at the same time, it's been weird for me to try to find things which I actually feel properly motivated to talk about. And so here I am on a day where, like, my hair needs washing, and I've got, like, almost zero makeup on. I look like a mess, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. So, this is probably going to be split into maybe a couple of different vlogs, because I kind of have two topics, 1 and 2, that I want to talk about with you guys, which I have written on this little piece of paper right here, which you probably just saw a glance of anyway. But yeah, so the first topic I want to talk about, and this actually stems from another video which I'm going to be doing hopefully in the fairly recent future, which is, I was talking to Scott, Great Scott LP, for those of you guys who don't know him, the other day on Skype, and we were talking about, like, old YouTube videos and comments and things like that, and I kind of got thinking and looking at some of my old comments on my YouTube videos, and we were discussing it, and he was like, I might do, like, a reaction to old comments, and I was like, that's actually a good idea, because I have been, as of this August will be my 7 years on YouTube, but in, as of May, coming up now, it'll be, how old will my channel be? 4 years? I think my gaming channel will be 4 years old, and in terms of actual YouTube, because I had, like, an editing channel and things like that, it will be, 7 years on YouTube, which is a long time, and you kind of build up. I wish I had my old inbox, because I had some great inboxes from back in the day, but I was thinking about looking over old comments and things like that, and that kind of got me thinking about hate and hate comments and, topics like that. And I think I kind of want to address that sort of issue on, like, haters and comments and things like that, and maybe a little bit about, like, my own self-esteem and a little bit about me and shyness and things like that, because most of you wouldn't think that I'm that shy, I don't think. I tend to be the louder one in recordings. I tend to be the one who's kind of cracking more jokes, or, like, being really loud and laughing really loud and just kind of generally being really, bubbly and enthusiastic, and that is, me. It's not like a front I put on or a character. I think a lot of people kind of say that, when they do YouTube, even if they don't feel like they're actually being a character, they still feel like YouTube gives them that energy and that strength to be that person. And I don't think that's necessarily the same with me. I've been kind of a bubbly person since I was quite young. I was always quite loud, get told off at school for being too noisy and things like that. I was always a bit of a joker, and, like, I used to love acting on stage and things like that. So I do think that it's not like me just trying to be someone I'm not on YouTube, but at the same time, it has been a bit of a confidence boost and a self-esteem boost, but my self-esteem is still kind of, like, at the bottom of the, right there, at the bottom of where this emoji pillow is. It's still not great, but interestingly, hate comments really don't affect you that much, and I kind of wanted to talk through hate comments and things like that, because everybody gets hate now and then, some more than others and things like that. It's the internet, like, no matter how great your community is, like, I love my community so much, and I love reading all the comments on YouTube videos, and I love, like, streaming and reading the chat when I'm streaming and things like that, and Twitter is just fantastic for, like, tweeting out something and getting a response for that. But at the same time, everybody gets hate comments now and then, and I'll kind of think over a few of the ones that I've had in the past. So I've had things like just general appearance comments and things like that. I've had things talking about, like, my teeth and being like, oh, look at those big teeth, or like, wow, those are rabbit teeth and things like that. I've had people talking about my hair, especially when I had a fringe, and kind of being like, wow, that is a heavy fringe. Like, not things that are really particularly nasty, just kind of like, glances and comments and things like that. I've had nice ones as well. I've had people tell me that my eyes are really pretty and blue. I've had people tell me that I have a really infectious smile or laugh, and that's really nice. I get lots and lots and lots of, especially one video that comes to mind is when I was at Insomnia this December, and I can't remember the name. It was just some YouTuber I don't know, but he was quite big, and he did a little vlog pretending to be someone else, and he like interviewed people jokingly around Insomnia, and he uploaded that video, and that was when Ruben and I were doing the Just Dance, and I got a lot of boob comments from that, because yeah, I'm not flat-chested, I'm not small, I am quite top-heavy because I'm quite short, but quite large on the upper front, and, you know, these things are hard to control, man. All these, you know, all you women out there, you'll know, these things are freaking hard to control if they're big. So I got, like, I could see, like, there were so many, like, oh my god, skip to this point in the video and look at those and things like that. And, like, you know, gross comments like that. And they've never really bothered me that much. I guess I'm not really one for, like... It's weird because I have quite a low opinion of myself in terms of my appearance. But in a way that almost balances out to when people comment on my own appearance and they say that something's ugly or something's bad or something's not right, I generally don't, like, react too negatively to that. I kind of feel like, oh, you know, whatever, I don't really care about what they think. You know, maybe it's like, oh, I already think that about myself, or like, oh, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't put that much weight on appearances. I feel like when I was in high school, I was one of the more ugly ducklings of our circle of friends. Like, all of my other friends, I felt like were taller and, you know, skinnier and prettier with prettier faces, and they're better with makeup and they're better with hair and things like that. And, like, look at this mane here, look at that. That's just brushed and unwashed. It really, really needs a wash. Tonight, I'm going to wash it. You guys got to hold me to that, even though it'll be, like, a day or two after when this vlog goes up. But, like, I never really, like, I like to make myself look nice. You know, I put on a bit of makeup normally, but again, I hardly put any on. So I don't put that much work into my appearance in that sense, and I guess, you know, I've just kind of been used to that and not putting much weight on appearance, so when I get negative comments like that, they don't really bother me too much, and in general, a lot of comments don't really bother me that much. I'm trying to think of other comments that I've got. I've had comments kind of criticising how I play a game or something like that. Again, that doesn't really bother me because I had fun playing this game my way, and, you know, I don't play games competitively. I don't play games to be good at them. I just play them to have fun. Like, I guess the thing I'm most competitive about is maybe UHCs, but I'm not really that competitive. I don't even think I'm that good at them. Like, I feel like it's luck most of the time. I just have fun. I just want to play with friends. So even that doesn't really bother me. I think if I was really competitive about a game and really trying to win and thinking that I'm good, and then somebody commented like, oh, you suck at this and you should have done it that way and things like that, then I'd feel a bit more kind of ouch when people say mean things about that. But those kind of comments don't really bother me. I think the main comments that would get to me, and I haven't really had any of these before, are comments about, like, my personality, I guess, because I put a lot of weight into people's personalities, you know, like, I value myself. I think one of my best traits, personally, is that I pick quite good friends and quite good people to trust, generally speaking. Like, I'm really, really happy with the circle of friends that I have, and I can, you know, look around and be happy with people, and if there are people that I aren't happy with, then I will, you know, not talk to them, or I will cut them out of my life. Seems like a really harsh thing to do, but I will, you know, try and avoid them or try and not pay attention to what they're saying, because I don't want that kind of negativity in my life. So I'm pretty happy with the circle of friends that I chose, and I weigh that a lot on personality. I weigh that a lot on, you know, just how they make me feel. Like, do they make me feel happy? Do they make me smile? Do they make others happy and smile? Are they kind? Are they thoughtful? Do they present themselves in a fairly, you know, professional manner? Not like a professional person, but, you know, they're not just effing and blinding and, like, you know, stuff all over the place. Just, you know, I'm really, really happy with the people who I have close to me, and the people who I talk to on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis, but as long as I talk to them, that's the important thing. So I put a lot of weight onto personality, so I think whenever there's any kind of hate or comments to do with personality, that's what bothers me the most, and I'm trying to think if I've ever really properly had those, and I don't think I have. It's really difficult for trolls and haters to attack personality. I get, you know, like, they can attack voice, they can attack, you know, appearance and how you look, they can attack the way you dress, they can, you know, attack your weight or anything like that, but at the end of the day, it's really difficult for them to attack people based on personality, because they'd have to actually know the person better and actually watch their content, rather than just going onto a video and being like, you smell, you know, swag 320 or whatever it is, 360, not 320, 420, that's what I was thinking of. I'd be the worst troll ever. But I think that's the thing that gets to me the most, is personality and how people treat you personality wise. So moving on from that a little bit with, like, self-esteem and things like that, I've always, I mean, I talked about it a bit earlier, but I've always kind of had lowish self-esteem. I tend to compare myself to other people. If I were to dress up nice for a party, for example, say, you know, maybe, just maybe, if I can really make the outfit work, I might look in the mirror and be like, oh, I think I look quite nice tonight. Like, that's quite, I think I chose my outfit okay. But then I'll probably look at someone else who's like a drop dead gorgeous, like, should be model material person, and immediately I will be like, well, I don't look good, that's not great, I'm ugly, or I'm fat, or like, look how much better they are than me, or, things like that. I tend to be really bad at comparing myself to other. Envy and jealousy are kind of the sin of the 7 deadly sins, which I definitely suffer from the most, and it's something that I'm working on. And it's not a vicious kind of jealousy, it's not a kind of thing where I look at a girl who's prettier than me or something like that, and I'm like, oh god, she's so much prettier than me, I hate her, she's a terrible person kind of thing. It's more of a kind of, I'll look at someone who's prettier than me and be like, oh, they're really pretty, and, I wish I was that pretty, I'm not that pretty, I'll never be that pretty kind of thing. Like, it just kind of gets myself down about it, which is dumb because, again, I never put that much weight on appearances, except for, like, myself. Like, I don't be friends with people and all of that based off appearances. But for myself personally, I feel like I do have to look nice. I have to look pretty. I have to look thin. I have to look well presented. My hair can't be greasy or my makeup can't be smudged or things like that. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird thing where my self-esteem is kind of set apart a bit from my own personal morals and my own personal opinions on what makes a person a good person. And it's kind of a case where I don't feel like I can feel good about myself much, or I feel like I'm like over complimenting myself. Like, I feel like I'm kind of boasting about myself. If someone were to say to me, you look beautiful, I would respond probably being like, oh no, shut up, you're wrong, or like, oh no, I'm not, like, oh haha, very funny. Like, I have a really big problem with accepting compliments, and I feel bad because I feel like if people do compliment me and I respond like that, it's like I'm kind of tossing their compliment aside and I don't believe it. Or like, if I was to compliment someone and they were like, oh, it's not true, like, I'd feel kind of like, oh, but it is true, I do mean it, like, why don't you trust my opinion? So it's like when people give me compliments, I do trust your opinion, but at the same time I don't trust my own opinion, I don't trust my own self-esteem, and I don't trust myself to not come across as cocky or something if I'm just like, thank you, or like, oh, thanks so much. Like, I don't know, it feels like I'm accepting, yeah, I'm beautiful kind of thing, and it's like, I don't feel that way, and it feels like a lie if I were to accept a compliment without at least saying, I'm glad that you think that, but that's not what I think. And it's something that I'm working on. I'm trying to move forwards with that. I'm trying to be a better person in terms of accepting compliments and in terms of my own self-esteem. But it's a long road that's been built up after years and years of not feeling good enough for anyone or anything. So, and I do have that kind of complex where I feel like I'm not good enough for anyone. Like, if someone wanted to be friends with me or be partners with me in something, or like, anything like that, I never felt like I was good enough for them. Like, even now with some of my friends, I look at how amazing some of them are. Like, they're incredible, incredible people. And I can look at them and be like, I don't deserve to be their friend. I'm not, good enough for that. Like, how could they even think that I'm a good enough person for them to spend time talking to me or, chatting and, playing games and stuff. And again, I know it's like my heart's telling me you're wrong, you know that you're wrong. People have told you you're wrong because they know it's true. But my brain is still kind of that point where it's like, no, put yourself down, girl, you're a terrible person. I don't know why my brain is a keyboard warrior now. But that's something I've been struggling with quite a lot. Which I guess, it's just funny how haters don't really affect me that much, even though I have low self-esteem. I'm probably, like, triggering all this hate now. All the haters are going to come out of hiding and be like, well, let's see how you handle this comment. But it's a little bit ridiculous, really. The only kind of things that affect me are when people are genuinely have their heads stuck in the ground. It's like, there's a difference between haters and trolls and people who are actually legitimately criticizing you and legitimately believe these things, but you just know how wrong they are. Some of you might know, I tweeted this out, I never talked about it in a video, but I tweeted it out a few weeks back, about, not even a few weeks back, it was like a week or two back maybe, about an email that I got about someone. If you're watching this, you know who you are. I doubt you watch my videos, but you know who you are if so. And it was someone with a channel with like, 100 or so subs. and they'd emailed me, and it wasn't a troll, and if it was a troll email, it was very, like, meaningful and well written. It didn't seem like a trolly email, but it was someone who was basically saying, you know, you have more subscribers than I, but, you know, you still don't have as many subscribers as this big YouTubers out there. If you look at the big female YouTubers, they got there because of guys. Look, that, you know, YouTuber's friends with, you know, ex-male YouTuber, so they are, you know, that's why they're so popular. So why don't we do some collabs together, because I'm a guy, and it'll get you, you know, the views that you want in YouTube. And I was like, hold on a second, like, hold on, you're basically saying that because you are male and I am not, that you are gonna get me more views because you're a guy, because you have a penis, and because I don't, and therefore I'm not gonna get as many views. And, like, you know, I wasn't hurt in the way that I think most people would think I am. Like, you know, I was like, this guy literally knows nothing about me. He's just this random guy who's, like, emailed me and, like, been like, yo, can I ride on your coattails? And it's like, my coattails aren't even that big, so good luck getting anywhere with that. But, like, it's because it diminished all the hard work that I have done for YouTube. And, like, you know, granted, I'm a small channel, I'm a very small channel, you know, YouTube, university's kept me really busy, so I have kind of dropped in the number of, like, regularly watching viewers, and I'm slowly building that up again now, and I'm really excited to be building that up again. You know, my views are getting higher and higher, and, you know, view to like ratio is actually really, really good, and, like, in my streams and stuff, I'm getting more and more viewers, and it makes me so, so happy to be able to do that again. Like, this is a legitimate overjoyed smile right here. Like, even thinking about it makes me so happy. And then for someone to come along and be like, you know, you only get popular because of guys, that kind of hurt a little bit, because, you know, it's like, no, can I just, look, there are very few things in my life that I am properly, genuinely proud of. So many things I put down to luck, whether it's just winning a UHC match, I'm like, it was down to luck, whether it's, you know, like getting a good grade in a test, I'm like, oh, it was a fluke. Like, I'm really bad at that as well, again, self-esteem issues, putting things down to luck. The stuff that I've done on YouTube, the vlogs that I do that you guys watch and you comment on over and over and over again, the streams that I do that I get continuously good viewership for and have people chatting in the chat constantly, strangers you've never met, whoa, god, there goes a cushion, strangers I've never met before, talking in, like, I've never met each other before, talking in a chat and having a conversation about something I'm talking about, or just joking about the game, and, you know, making these video projects that I do which raise issues and awareness for topics which people don't even think about that much. Like, that stuff I am so proud of. Like, this is one of the proudest things in my life, to do the stuff that I do. And yeah, I don't get many views or many comments or many likes. I'm not a big famous vlogging channel, and I like that. I like that I can easily talk to you guys and have a conversation on Twitter or in the comments on here. And it is definitely one of the few things that I am just so happy I do, and so proud, and I could not imagine giving it up anytime soon. Even if university gets in the way, I still want to be doing vlogs when I can. I still want to be doing streams when I can. Like, that is why I'm working so hard to balance university work with socializing, with YouTube, with streaming, with Patreon stuff, with just generally being a presence on social media, with, you know, finding a job and things like that. Like, there's so much stuff going on in my life right now, and it's a little bit overwhelming, and it's a little bit scary, but you know what? I don't care, because I love it. I love it so much. And for someone to come along and basically throw that all aside and say, no, you know, you didn't do this yourself, you did this because of guys, you know, you rode on the coattails of larger YouTubers, or, you know, things like that, and I've just got to say no to that one hater email. You know, most of the time I jokingly respond to haters if they comment on my videos. I don't like deleting trolly comments. I much prefer, like, calling people out and letting people see the stupid comments that people post, and to show that it doesn't bother me by responding to it. But this actual email, you know, I want to say right now, if you're watching right now, no, you are wrong. You are very, very, very wrong. And how dare you try to diminish my work by trying to ride on my coattails and saying that you, as a man, will make me a better YouTuber just because you are a man and people find that more interesting to watch and people find that more entertaining to watch. How dare you? People watch my vlogs. It might be 5 people, it might be 50 people, it might be 50, 100 million people, but people watch my vlogs. People like and comment on my vlogs. And yes, there are going to be people who don't. There are going to be people who don't like my content. People are going to be weirded out by my video projects, or people might be disinterested in the game, or people might just find me annoying. I can understand that. I'd probably find me annoying annoying too if I was friends with me. But how dare you try to look at my viewership and try to look at the community, try to look at the people who put the time and effort into giving their time, giving their money, giving, you know, just their voice to me. How dare you try to look at them and say, they don't like you, you know, they're just here because of that guy, you know, you wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for men. It's just like, why don't, you know, forget about me and forget about the work that I've done. Why don't you give those people who have been watching me a little bit of respect? Why don't you actually think maybe they have a mind and maybe they just want to watch me because they like me? Maybe that is a thing. Wow, mind blown. I know, right? How can a human like another human without first being led to them by a man or anything like that? So I just wanted to do a little response to that email. I've been kind of holding off on doing a proper response to it besides just putting it on Twitter and being like, lol, this is hilarious. But this vlog wasn't even going to be a response to that email. I was just going to kind of briefly mention it, but there we go. It just all came flooding out, apparently. That was the cork that I just unstoppered in my emotions, and it feels so good to say how dare you to this random person who I'm not actually facing, otherwise it'd be kind of scary. But yeah, I think we need to give people a bit of credit. I think we need to give, you know, you guys who watch these videos, you guys who donate, you guys who comment, you guys who like, you guys who share, you guys who put your time and sink your teeth into this community and support the people who you enjoy. Give you more credit for liking the people that you do. You're not mindless, brainless consumers who are just like, oh, I'm gonna click on this because it's a grill, or oh, I'm gonna click on this because of this guy. Like, I'm giving you guys credit because you guys are all amazing, intelligent people, and you continue to challenge me in the things that I do. I keep wanting to make better and better content for you. I keep wanting to be more vocal in how I do my vlogs and how I tackle certain issues. The games that I play, I want to make sure that it's entertaining for you guys as much as it is fun for me, and I'm trying to keep my content as regular as I can because I want to give to you guys, you know, content that you deserve, because you guys have done everything to challenge me and make me a better person and make me a better content creator and help me pursue the dreams that I want to do. So, you know, I'm giving you guys all the credit that you deserve for knowing what you want and, you know, believing what you believe. And I don't think any haters should let any of you pull them down. At the end of the day, haters are just a random person on the internet who doesn't know jack shit about you, okay? Sorry for the French, this is trying to keep it PG, but I'm mad now. You know, these people know nothing about you, and how dare they try to tell you that you're anything less than the amazing person that you are. And self-esteem aside, I'm very proud of this, and I'm going to give myself credit for this, and I hope you guys will allow me to give myself credit for this, and I hope this person who emailed me will allow myself to give myself credit for this. I said myself too many times in that sentence. Yeah, that turned into a little bit more of a rant than I thought. But I just wanted to kind of tackle some of the issues with haters and why it's important to not let them, you know, put you down and what they think. Like, it's all garbage. It's all lies what they say. It's all stupid. They, you know, they don't know you, they don't owe you, they don't control you, and you don't owe them anything, much less, you know, the time of day to even read the comment. So I would say, you know, let the haters hate, it's fine. You know, do what they want. They're just sad little people who could do nothing but spread negative words at the end of the day. You just keep spreading your positive words and your positive messages and your positive support to everyone in this community, whether you're a content creator or just a viewer or a donator, or you just share the videos or you just like the videos, or you're a lurker or you're a camper or anything like that. Keep on spreading the positive love and energy. This got very soppy very fast. I'm very sorry about that. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog, and I will see you next time. Much love to you all. Keep on rocking it. Bye.